Hi guys, and welcome back to Gravity 2 PDF. In today's tutorial, we're going to cover two of the commonly most asked questions about the plugin and how you would use it. And those are, how would I correctly do a signature field? And then how do I collect a address? And both of them are good questions. So let's start by answering the signature field question. So when you're creating a document and collecting a signature to be merged onto the PDF, we don't actually even want to include a signature field on the PDF. We just need to include the signature field on the Gravity form, and then that signature is collected and then appended to the document that you create as the last page. It works very similarly to the way that like Adobe Sign or Write Signature or Kuda Sign or DocuSign work. They don't actually include the signature on the locations. Some of them offer initials in the document itself. They all actually append the signature as a last page document, and it also collects the IP address and the timestamp of when the signature is collected. Now our plugin does the exact same thing, and I'm not suggesting that our plugin should be used for legally binding court documents. That's not the case, but it is a good way to collect a signature field from a user who submitted a form. And just like the big legal binding signatures like Adobe Sign and DocuSign and so on, we do collect the name of the signer if this signer is signed in. We also collect the timestamp and the IP address that they signed on. And lastly, the signature is actually added to a additional page on the PDF. So we'll demonstrate that today. And then we're also going to cover the address fields. Now you may be aware in a Gravity form there's a unique field for an address, and that breaks the address into its parts: the street address, the city, the state, and the zip code. Now, if you want to put the city, state, street, and zip code onto your PDF document, it's very easy to take the parts and map the parts into their own dedicated fields. But what if you want to collect the address as parts so it's easy on the form and then put it into a single line on your Gravity form? Your PDF. That's a little more complicated. There is a tool from a company called Gravity Wiz, and they offer something called Gravity Perks. It's an add-on, and it's called the Copycat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do that today, so that because very often you'll collect the address in parts and you want it to publish a document as a single line. So what I have here prepped is just a Word document, and we're going to create just two fields because, again, we're going to collect a signature on this, but it's going to be appended to this document. It's not actually on this document. So I'm going to go through the process here. We're going to collect a name, and this is a Word document that we're working on here because we're going to save this Word document and we're going to create the PDF. So we'll go through the entire process, and then we're going to collect an address. And here's our address, and that's it. So this form is laid out, and we're not going to collect anything else. We're just going to save this as a PDF, and we're going to call this PDF and save. And the PDF maker will happen, and then we will open this PDF. Okay, so what I have here is Acrobat Pro, and what we need to do is convert these two fields into fields so we can collect them using a Gravity form. So to do that, we're going to go over to Tools, and we're going to prepare a form and Start. And so we just have two fields. So we have our name and our address, and what we want to do is save this again, and we're done. We're going to overwrite the existing one, and that's it. So our form is done. We've created our form, and now I have my test site here. And so what I like to do is create the form first. We're going to create a new form, add new, and we're going to call this name and address. Well, we'll call it name, address, and signature. So we're going to create our form, and first thing we're going to do is collect our name. So we're just going to call this our name field, and the next thing we're going to do is collect an address. And now here's where the perks come in, and you'll see I already have the Gravity Perks by Gravity Wiz added to this. What we're going to do is we're going to collect these address fields, but we're going to add one more field in our form, and that's going to be a hidden field. So that's over here. We're going to create this hidden field, and I'm going to call this combined address. And what we will do is we will use the perk, and the way this works is we go copy and then dash, and then we use the field ID, which is 2, and then it'll be 2, and then another dash, the word 2 again, and then dash 3, because this field ID is 3. So, and I'm sorry, that's not a validation, that is a CSS. So what we're going to do is move that to the right spot. And what happens is when the user inputs this information, it merges and combines it into our hidden field. And what we can then do is map this hidden field into our single value here on our address, because what you'll see is a lot of contracts, they'll have the address as a single line like this. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And then lastly, we're going to do our advanced field, and we're going to collect a signature for this little agreement. And that's it. So we're going to update this form, and now we're going to create our merge. I'm going to call this name, address, and signature. And we're going to include our timestamp on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to browse, and we're going to upload our file that we just created. We're going to use that, and it'll detect our fields here. So what we're going to do is pick our form, name, address, signature, and we already have our name field mapped to our name field, and we're going to add our address field to our address field, and we're going to save this. Okay, so what you'll see here is we have our address field, and what we want to do is collect our combined address field. And then lastly, when you're using the paid version of the plugin, we have the ability to collect a Gravity Forms signature. So, we collect a signature here, and then what we're going to do is just a confirmation page download. And we'll copy the short code that's required, and we're going to ignore flatten and password for now. So we're going to save this, and our merge is done. So what we're going to do is go back to our forms, and we're going to come back to our name, address, and signature. We're going to do two things. We're going to go to confirmation settings, and we're going to edit this, and we're going to say, thank you for filling out our form, period, and then we're going to paste our short code on the confirmation page. Okay, so we're going to save that, and then we're going to actually disable the notification because we don't need that, and we're done. Okay, so we're done with our merge, we're done with our notifications and our download setup. So what the last steps are, we're going to add a new page to test this out. So we're going to call this name, address, and signature, and then we're going to add our Gravity form to our page and publish it. Okay, so we just created this start to finish, haven't tested this out at all, so what we're going to do is we're going to open this in a new tab and give this a try and see what happens. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just running the default WordPress theme, nothing fancy here, and what should happen is I should be able to test this out, and I'm going to do, just an address, and we're going to be in, where are we going to be today? We'll be in New York, and we'll be 1111, and we're going to be in the USA. And we're going to sign this. And what we're going to do is submit it and see what happens. Okay, so here's our download. It should be, download your file here. And we should be able to open this. And here's our name of it, name, address, signature with the date appended. This is the date signature stamp from the server. And what we'll see here is we got our name and our address. And then we should have an additional page right there. Entry ID, submitted on, the IP, the form label, and the signing field. And so that's how signatures and address fields can work. I'm not sure where this extra little line came in, but it captured it somehow. I'm sure if we redo it, it will get a little cleaner address. So that's how you can do signature, address, and collect these automatically using Gravity Forms plus Gravity to PDF.